Hello everybody, my name is CarlosX360's. How you doing? Today we're going to do a video about skill-based matchmaking, and this is part of a multi-series video. Um I have a previous video. I will link it down in the description, or it's going to go up here somewhere so you can see it. It talks about EOMM, and it's related to what we're talking about right now, which is skill-based matchmaking. Today we're gonna do a reaction to this because I have another idea that correlates with this. All right, so let's get going. Today we're talking about this blog post. All right. Activision released a blog post a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting for a little while to see what everybody says about it and form my own opinion after that. Because there is a multiple factors that is affecting this AI revolution going on right now. So I'm just gonna do a flat reaction to this part, and then go with like a background talk about this, because this is just one part of the big problem that we have in the video game industry. It goes all the way back to AI, and it goes all the way back to business and boring talk and all that, whatever. So we're just bear with me, please. Okay. So this blog post starts off with a overarching synopsis of what's going on. The blog post focus on how matchmaking works across multiplayer only. We will be continuing the conversation on matchmaking in other modes, such as Warzone and rank play. I'll get to my opinions on that later. Okay? For players that heard the term but aren't familiar with what we're referring to, matchmaking is a multi-factor process to place players on teams with or against each other. So what they're talking about is when you get into multiplayer, you're waiting in the lobby screen, correct? That's what we're talking about here, okay? So that screen is searching for matches. It's searching for players. You're sitting there waiting for the matches to come in. And they have like we'll get to this. Hold on here. The single biggest priority with respect to multiplayer matchmaking is delivering a fun experience to our players. Bullshit! We have many years of testing and learning as part of our matchmaking process. We are continuously working to deliver the best experiences possible. Bullshit! Okay? So here is where this is what I'm talking about. Okay? So, Call of Duty has a multifaceted system to do matchmaking. Connection is king according to Activision, which was true before. It's not true now. I don't I don't agree with that. So we will just keep going. Time to match. Bullshit, by the way. Skill performance. Platform. Voice chat. Which is stupid. Why would you do that? Why would algorithm have to... Oh, whatever, bro. Input devices, Cronus, that kind of thing. Beep, 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 beep. Turbo controllers. That's another way to look at it. Recent maps modes. Okay? And then next one is playlist diversity. These are probably good ideas to use, like a system of control. I don't know how you explain it, but system of control. I'm just gonna use it in a matrix kind of way. So bear with me. Stupid. Alright, so right here, connection. As the community will attest, ping is king. Bullshit! Connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor in matchmaking process. Bullshit. Okay? Time to match. This factor is second most critical to the matchmaking process. We all want to spend time playing the game rather than waiting for the matches to... Who wrote this? Are you a dumbass? Have you played the game? Do you like sitting there and looking at the lobby screen and waiting around doing nothing? Who wrote this? The following factors are also critical to the matchmaking process. Player diversity. This is kind of true. In the past, when the system was on ping, there's a video down below. I explain it in a different way. So their official idea, their official communication is that there's player diversity in the matches, playlist diversity. So when you're in the lobby and you click quick play, stupid idea, by the way, stupid. We should be able to decide which match to go to, but quick play is like the big community it's the first thing that players go to, I don't know how I can explain it better, but it's the first thing that players click on, they just want to get into the match, have fun. But the thing is, quick play tells you, the player, the on the lobby screen, which playlist to go to because of population. But as you can see so far, they're using 1 factor, 2 factor, 3 factor, 4 factor, 5 factor, 6 factor to find you a match. Shouldn't be like that, bro. You choose a match, like let's say team deathmatch. You want to play team deathmatch with players that do not misunderstand what I'm saying here, because it matches you with players on your rank level, but it's backwards. It's playing. It's putting you matched with players that it's not easy to understand. Okay, so your rank is probably 100 level, right? But you're matched with player that has ranked 50. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, so that's what you have. But instead, what it does is it puts you with players sometimes higher or lower. So your rank is 100. The other player is 100, 150, 200, but sometimes it's 50. That diversity needs to be in the game, but the the way it works now is like it's backwards. It's not matching you with um I don't know how you explain. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Oh, stupid. Okay, so recent maps modes. Considering map you have recently played on, as well as your mode preferences. Bullshit. It's not doing that. It's putting you like it's forcing you into matches that you have never played before, or matches that you sometimes do play, but it depends on the population of the matchmaking system. Okay, so if there's not like a lot of players in let's say San Francisco, then in San Francisco there's only like let's say search and destroy. You're matched to that match type. But what you really want to play is maybe let's say you want to play team deathmatch. It doesn't match you there. Okay? So, and then skill performance. This is used to give our players a global community with a opportunity to have an impact in every match. Really? Really? That's not what's happening, because we have very different kinds of people in our matches, either before or after Modern Warfare 3. Input device, I see that. Hey, I agree with that one. We need to cut out all of these turbo controllers, Cronus Zen, different video coming up about that one. Okay, because the way I see it is Cronus is gonna be branded as Game Genie eventually if they keep going. Yeah. That's a history lesson for the current administration of Cronus Zen. Yeah. I'm gonna do a video about that. You better wait for that. Okay, so platform defines reasonable. But the problem is, this is a different conversation. A conversation that we already covered on this channel. Crossplay should not be in this conversation. Why do we have crossplay? Turn it off. No, I don't want to play with PC players. I want to play with my PlayStation players. Xbox players want to play with Xbox players. Turn it off. and then voice chat. And this is where, okay, this is more like a marketing speech than it is anything else, okay? So, because what they want to do is implement AI into voice chat. I'll get to this a little later, okay? I'll get to this a little later. Let's keep it going, okay? So every time a player begins matchmaking in multiplayer, for example, the process needs to work through all these factors to find other players, all of which are also being analyzed. So they just said it right there. That's what you're sitting and waiting for. They officially said this. They officially said it. There is no question about it anymore. Okay? To assemble a lobby that is stable and competitive, subjective, bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. So, I'll skip down a little bit. Whether you're having fun with friends and looking up to climb up the ladder, connection is the most important part of the online Call of Duty experience. Bullshit. Connection dictates the speed at which the game can transfer information from every player and other servers. Conversation already debunked before, so let's move it on. Call of Duty's matchmaking process evaluates a metric we call delta ping. So, in that system, which is the difference in round trip time of the data between your best data center and which is almost always close to you. So in other words, like the example I had before, if you're in San Francisco, you're gonna be matched with players who has the same statistic as you do. So in other words, if you play quick play, domination, throwing it out there, your KD is 2.0, your location is San Francisco, and then your ping is delta ping at, let's say, 50. But your actual ping is maybe 20, 30. I don't know. There's two different kinds of ping, so that's what they're saying. I don't know what it is. So, right here is self-explanatory right now at this point, because we already talked about this before. The video will be linked below. Okay, so Call of Duty uses a client-server model to host matches. So in other words, your console is like the host server, and the actual data center. Okay, that's what they're saying is PvP, but it's not PvP. Okay, so I'll just keep moving on. The Call of Duty netcode, which we discussed in the past, I already went over that, works to reduce the effect of latency, but cannot completely eliminate it. Dedicated servers will eliminate it, okay? So, no. Scale backwards, Activision, scale backwards. with your conversation, this is a bad step to stay because people don't like what you're doing. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna move on. And then we go down here. Measuring the time. We all. Nope. I'm not going with this. Oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and address this part. For example, in the popular Modern Warfare 3 Rust playlist consists of Rust and shipment in rotation. Players often leave matches, lobbies, and or matches early on, hoping to re-queue into shipment instead. But Activision says they have the data to support that this thing is popular, this is popular, this is not popular, this is popular, this is not popular. And right here, they're not doing what they. This is the problem. This is like the quick play thing. It's the same thing. It's the same idea. They're matching you to Rust, but they really want is shipment, right? But instead of putting them into shipment, they put you into Rust. So all those people who voted no on Rust are forced into shipment. It's the same thing as Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare Roman number 2. You know, I. So in that game, you're forced into that match because of skill-based matchmaking. They said it right here. Okay, so they're trying to force players into that match. Okay, so yeah, our goal is to ensure players spend more time playing matches rather than waiting for them. So they're punishing them for that. So we, the players, have the choice to do whatever we want. Bullshit. Measuring skill for matchmaking, but it's not working. See? So I'm gonna focus on one part here. One part. Okay? Because it's completely bullshit. I'm gonna focus on one part. You see that? Okay. So what Call of Duty said is Call of Duty has historically considered player performance among other factors as part of matchmaking process. Our work in this area dates back as early as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007. This part is completely bullshit. I have the game. We talked about it before. Okay? I've been playing Call of Duty since 2007. I've never seen this kind of matchmaking. No, I have not. This right here, this quote, who wrote this? Skill is implemented across the video game industry, sort of, but not as nasty as this. No. We recognize continuing refinement is required to deliver the best possible experience to players. No. what Call of Duty wants is investor money. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? You don't believe me? I will bring you to Asmongold. Asmongold was responding to Elena Pierce. Elena Pierce is a game developer. Pause. She works at Sony. She works with Sony on Santa Monica, Sony Santa Monica. So she works there. Okay. Her role is more like a storyteller. If I got that correctly. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, Elena. But I'm gonna quote you right here. This is where I quote you here. Okay? So, hold up here. Let me put this up a little bit. And good enough. And here we go.
Is the point? I'm gonna get there. Awesome. I hope I do too. Why the fuck would you, like, who do you think you're gonna convince? You really think you're gonna convince somebody in the chat right now? Somebody's gonna be like, you know what? I saw this Reddit post about how God wasn't real, but then this guy said this other thing in chat, and so now it's like, fuck, which one is it?
A lot of things that companies are trying to sell to you that video game developers can already actually do. It's so obvious to me that they're just trying to sneak in AI to get a quick buck from any company they can while it's still hot.
There it
because
is.
The NFTs didn't work. Like,
that's
it's the
right.
same fucking people. Genuinely, look it up. Literally the
And
same.
in 3 years, there's going to be another term that they're using that's going to be just as stupid and overused.
First of all, yes, there's been AI. Yes, there has been AI in gaming for as long as we've been playing video games. Yes. She's telling the truth. But the AI is the marketing speech for attracting investor money into the gaming industry. As we discussed, the AI in gaming is hurting your gameplay in the background. But the AI they're talking about is like dynamic communication between the player and the NPC and other AI style on the fly agile dynamic changes. I'll keep going. Hold on. Just listen to what she says.
Don't even know what it is yet.
Names of founders of these companies. It's so nuts. There's an article from The Verge about NVIDIA's new AI NPCs. I'm a huge fan of NVIDIA. I have their graphics cards. Them pushing AI tech is hugely beneficial to them as a company. Same as NFTs were, actually. Yeah. NVIDIA makes so much hardware and there's so much tech that is dependent on their exact kind of hardware. But there's this particular part of this article that people were calling out on GameDev Twitter that I think is really interesting. The article talks about them trying the NVIDIA AI and that it wasn't actually very good at this point in time. But goes on to say, I can now absolutely imagine games where NPCs remember what they've seen and react to the game scripts as it unfolds. The right bits could enter their memory bank.
As it unfolds.
And get filtered through their personality and desires and make a game more immersive and interactive as a result. We can already do this in video games. This is already available in development.
Yeah, or it's like, you know, you do something where it's like the character asks you, does this dress make me look fat? And then like the red option is like, no, you're fat and you're wearing the dress. And then it says on the side, you know, Jessica will remember that.
Games like Mass Effect, games like Starfield,
some new AI
games
tech.
like
that's the case for half of the things
Fallout.
people are claiming AI will be able to do. or at the very least, that AI tech has already existed. People keep talking about it with Grand Theft Auto. They're trying to patent, I think Rockstar is trying to patent some new technology that would allow for more immersive reactions. Say, you know, how in previous GTAs, if it rains, they might pull up a newspaper to cover their head, or maybe if they have an umbrella, they'll use it. They're trying to combine that body language with the weather effect, with maybe that particular NPC being in a certain mood. This does not require any new AI tech. This is not some...
Couldn't it just be like a conditional? Like, I mean... You know, I did some programming, but like, I feel like this seems like it's a pretty easy conditional, right? Like, if the conditional of rain, then they go like this. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's probably not that hard.
Breakthrough. This is something that literal game dev tools can already facilitate. It's being spoken about as though it's some new thing. This is just how game development is able to function and has always been able to function, as long as people have the room and the ideas to iterate. But that's not some new AI is going to replace everybody in video games thing. That is still somebody coming up with those systems. This stuff does not require generative AI, which is the thing that I am talking about personally being against, which thankfully Verge did mention here, is we can already, as game developers, use these things to augment games. That's half of what game dev is making sure that when this person reaches this place and this thing happens, that they remember this thing also happened. It can still be very complicated, and AI can still make mistakes with that kind of stuff as well. But it's not some new thing. But yes, we don't want any of it replacing voice actors, writers, or artists. Again, you're going to have to decide what your personal stance is. Do whatever you want with that. But it's just so bizarre to watch these things basically be repackaged as some shiny new tech that's going to make video games better for players, when it's stuff that already exists. Like, this is just...
No, I used to do this all the time whenever I would sell carries in WoW, is that I would include things that weren't even new. Like, I told there's this one guy that...
So I'm stop right there. So, yeah. We've been doing AI for a while. This AI is hurting your games. Okay? So I'll move down a little bit more here. We use player performance to ensure that the disparity between the most skilled player and in the lobby and the least skilled player in the lobby isn't so vast that the players feel the match is a waste of time. Our data... I showed you in another video that this is a lie. So when I was laying prone in that match, the AI is pushing my legs out. They're trying to screw me over. That's one part. The other part is the AI is slowing down my connection so that the other player can play better. Like a player matchmaking system where I don't know, bro. So it's like the idea of socialism, okay? Where you're sitting there, you have to share your share with the other player. And if you don't share with the other player, then the algorithm is going to try to nerf your gameplay to be less than the other player. So it's the idea of distribution. Okay, so half of these players are good, half of these players are bad, but give one of these players a better buff so that the winning side loses. So in my video that I just showed in another video, I'll link it down there. So in that video, I had 3 matches. 2 of them were good matches. But the third one, they nerfed my whole match. So I end up losing. So it's the law of threes. If you are on a streak, you lose at least once. And it's not organic. So let's move on, all right? Future, yeah, communications. I'm going to go to the answers now. Okay, so questions and answers. Bullshit answers, by the way, because here, does the Call of Duty matchmaking process impact any in-game elements such as hit registration, player visibility, aim assist, damage, etc.? No. They said it out loud. There's a video that I showed. That's wrong. So your gun, your weapon, can be nerfed at the same time as you playing the game. Yes, it's happened to me. And if you lose, it's not because you are a bad player. No. It's because the algorithm is telling you to chill out, take a back seat, and let the worst player play better. It's distribution at its finest. So that answer is wrong. Wrong. Okay? So, next one. Does spending money on Call of Duty content such as bundles, Battle Pass, or Black Cell change how players are matched? And the simple answer is no. I've seen players play better with bundles / Black Cell, whatever. I've seen it. They spend the money, and they get rewarded at least once in their playing time. So, yeah, that's bullshit. Does Call of Duty use bots in multiplayer matchmaking? Their answer is no. What they're talking about is bots, as in like the other players in your matches are bots. Blank Tooth did a 3 video streak of debunking this, and he made a lot of proof. He made a lot of, yeah, I agree with him. I see it, the same thing that he's saying, he's seen. But I do agree with everybody else who's saying that you can buy player AI systems to do I see it all the time on my website. I see it all the time. There's players who sell hacked lobbies, hacked accounts, sell bot systems to do away from keyboard systems there's that. Those people are correct. So they are both correct. Okay? But Activision is saying there's none of it, which is a complete bullshit lie. Okay? That's my opinion. You can disagree with it. Go for it. But there's two different answers that I think both can be correct at the same time. Okay? Do partners or content creators get special consideration in general matchmaking? The answer is no. Nobody disputed that. But sometimes the AI does give like priority to Warzone players, or either that or they get invited to special lobbies. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's about the perception, actually. Okay, so we're done with that. Have you ever considered opt-in, opt-out system for the matchmaking? That's exactly what we wanted. Like a system where we can because here's the thing. The way I see it is skill-based matchmaking is meant to automatically put people into matches based on rank and other criterias, but it should not be in public playlists. It should not be in quick play. It should not be in the public matches. No, it should be in ranked play. So why is it in public and not ranked? That's what they're talking about here. So we want to turn it off. And Activision is kind of saying, our data suggests that splitting the player base with an opt-in, opt-out matchmaking system will have negative consequences on the overall player pool. That means potentially longer wait times. We already do that. So you're complaining that we want it off? Oh, this is stupid. Have you ever tested removing skill as a consideration for matchmaking? We've run our tests over the years to determine if remove makes sense. We will continue to launch these tests periodically. To date, I'll let you read that for a little bit. Because I disagree with that, because I've been playing Call of Duty for a long time. This is what we wanted right here. This right here is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. We wanted no skill-based matchmaking. We wanted no algorithm dictating our gameplay. No computer telling us what to do, what not to do, whatever. None of that. Okay? Have you considered removing skill from matchmaking and special? That's the same one as before. Yeah, so this is more like a marketing blog than it is a address. No, I disagree. So here's why. As you heard before, Elena Pierce said, hold on here. 1 second here. Elena Pierce said it. Okay, so I'm going to close this and talk about AI. So this goes back to politics, okay? It's a longer game being played against investors. So this is my call to investors. Stop supporting AI. Stop doing it. They are manipulating your shareholder value. So when you market to people, when you market that product, let's say for a video game, when you market that video game to someone else and you want them to buy that game for you and you want AI in there, those players are just going to be confused as to why AI is in there. When for 30 years, we've had AI for a very long time. Okay? Now, if you do not believe that this is a long-range problem, let me quote someone. Shout out to Patrick, Bet David, and Robert Spalding here. Let's go.
To look at that says, okay, we want to dominate the next level, right? Not just the technology, we want the app services and business models to be Chinese companies. And so Huawei gets hundreds of billions of dollars to develop 5G and ZTE. But then you have Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. So they're behind the Chinese firewall. They're protected. You can't have the fangs going in there. It's just the bats that control the e-economy within China. And then you start, at the same time you're developing 5G, right? The platform, I'll get to that in a second, but you're also developing Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. So now when you walk into, and you're starting to see the emergence of the 5G world in China. So you walk into a restaurant after you've ordered your food and a camera picks you up and you say, hey, David, welcome, here's your food, right? So you're starting to get the feel of what a 5G world is. And what is a 5G world? Paired with a pipe, 5G is computing and networking combined on the same platform. So this goes away. You walk outside your door and you say Uber. You don't get on your phone and say, I want an Uber. You just say Uber. Camera picks up your face or a microphone picks up you.
Come on.
That's what 5G is. That's what 5G is. And then the Uber shows up. There's a camera on the car that sees you, knows who you are, don't have to ask you your name. You get in and you go to wherever you want. You get out and you go do whatever you want. So in this world, in the 4G world, this is a platform. It's yours, right? You don't want to be part of that, all of that data. Remember we just talked about how do you influence society? You don't want all that data to be out there about what you're doing.
Okay, so he's talking about two different things in here. But what I'm focused on is this part.
Developing Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. So now when you walk into, and you're starting to see the emergence of the 5G world in China. So you walk into a restaurant after you've ordered your food and a camera picks you up and you say, hey, David, welcome, here's your food, right? So
So, what's that? So, that system is actually an AI. Okay? In China, if you walk into McDonald's, let's say, for example, McDonald's, if you walk in there, the camera is looking at you, but the algorithm is picking up your face and it's gathering information or giving you information on who you are and what your credit score is. By the way, one more thing.
China's social credit system. Now, a lot of people either try to make excuses for it or they try to talk about how bad it actually is. I'm here to tell you that it's probably not what you think, but it in fact is probably much worse than you think. Everyone likes to make this comparison of China's social credit system to the episode of Black Mirror, where the woman is basically in a dystopian future where everyone has this app and they're basically rated on their popularity, whether people like them, and they're rated out of 5 stars and they're segregated as such. So, for example, car rental companies won't rent to people below a certain score. People will judge you for being below a certain threshold, not invite you to events. Companies might reject you from jobs. But anyway, all of this is based on the ability of everybody else being able to rate each other.
And this is not far-fetched. This is already in Amazon. When you go to a job in Amazon, they're going to have their system too. That's how people get fired down there. So every time they write you up, the system takes a note of it. So if you accumulate all the like the strikes. So let's say I believe in 3 strikes, you're out. So if you take 1, you're out. 2, you're out. 3, you're out. Okay? And it's a punishment system. In China, however, they score you like the credit card companies, you know? If you do good, they score you higher. If you do bad, they score you down. Okay? That's the AI system. Okay? And it's working in unison with the whole great firewall of China. Okay? But it's about controlling the society in China. So when companies are having these ESG, DEI bullshit, then they're adhering to Chinese ideology of doing business on the large scale. It's a very complicated conversation to have, but it's a conversation we need to have immediately and as soon as possible. Because this stuff is dystopian. Shout out to Lawai86 and Serpent A, because they were in China for 10 years and they know exactly how it's like in China. That's why I watch them, because I want to understand what's going on in there, so that they don't do it here. But they're doing it here, but the Congress, they don't understand it. That's why when I look at this interview, Patrick Bet-David over here, it was eye-opening to me to hear this. How does this relate to video games? Well, I'm from California, okay? This guy right here. I've been living in California for 36 years. I left in 2018, right before the pandemic. I go to San Francisco every single month to pitch to investors. What I see in there? Chinese people trying to buy small companies. Yes. I saw it up close, personal. I know some people who are investors who will kiss China's ass just to get more money. Just to have access inside China. The problem is these people, if they go to China and they stand in there and they say something wrong, guess what? Not only are they going to shut down the company that he found, it's a hedge fund company. It's a hedge fund. It's an accelerator hedge fund slash funding company. And this company, it has to adhere to China's whims. If you get out of that line, you're going to lose money. That's one part. You're going to lose the credit card, the credit system. You're going to go poor. You're going to go this. You're going to go that. You're going to do this. At the end of the day, you're going to be canceled if you say something wrong to China. Okay? So, it's not just decisions by Activision. It's decisions by the shareholders who are not doing their jobs, understanding what is going on outside of the company. And it's hurting their company. When you open up the game, it's going to show Activision Shanghai. Okay? I have another video about this on the channel already. I'll link it down there. But these are problems that we have, and we need to get going on this. Look, I'm not trying to pull you into politics. I'm not trying to do that. I'm saying that these investors are being manipulated more than they're letting on. These marketing angles of including AI into video games when it has always been in video games is a bad idea to our society. You just heard that. I'll link everything down in the description. I'll let you have your own ideas or whatever. But AI needs to go away. Needs to go away. It's trash. Stop doing it. I'm talking to you too, investors. Stop doing it. I'll see you guys later.